Hi guys, welcome. So let me just start sharing my screen and we will jump right in to all of this. I know it feels like complete madness when you first start out. You know our objective, you know the point of all of this. Again, it's building that solid fundamental foundation so you can build your own growing community as a wellness coach. We are going to review really quickly our episode 1, the last episode, showed, went over goals, Success Club, what it is, 100 No Challenge, what that is, rank basics, and then Team Z. So if you ever want to return to that, you're more than welcome to rewatch episode 1. And if you have any further questions, just reach out and ask, or your mentor coach. So today's agenda is going over goals, more specific goals, challenge groups and what those foundations are, inviting to-do foundations, inviting what not to do foundations, and then a CTA, which is a call to action, to prove that you're using this to your advantage, because that is the whole point. If you're not using it, it's not going to work. So again, with those no challenge goal, you're utilizing this no challenge, 100 no's, to turn that negative into a positive. And so that is our goal, to keep on pushing forward and realizing that when people tell you no, that they're not ready, they're not telling you no, they're telling themselves, hey, I'm not ready yet. You can check in with me and ask about, come back to me and just keep on building that friendship and that relationship with them. And again, it comes back to you're building trust, you're building a friendship, it's going to take time. So those more specific goals you can make to help make things more visible, is you can use that 100 No Challenge. There are a couple more. So if you want to focus in on Success Club and you want to focus in on these numbers and you're more of a number person, then that's amazing. Focus on that. Maybe you would prefer, you're kind of like a date person that likes things in the calendar and you want to, advance to Emerald or advance to Ruby or advance to Diamond by like a certain time, then it's totally doable and you can do that. You just have to remember that Emerald, Ruby, or Diamond, they're all choices. You all have to decide when you're ready to do that and throw yourself in and do it. Go at it 110%, right? So keep in mind, all rank advancements and paydays happen on Thursday. That's kind of the end of our week, and then we start off again, right? So challenge group foundations and the purpose behind it. Invite, invite, invite. If you're not inviting, then you're not sharing this gift with other people. And you're not going to be able to build your team. So you need to be thinking of possibly a free group invite where you have an ongoing group, or you're doing, I know for me, I do once a month, the first Monday of every month, I run a free online group in Facebook, on Facebook, and it goes over kind of a plethora of recipes, really short workouts, and just kind of tips and tricks and things like that. So it gives them a taste of what our challenge groups entail. During that time, you're also building those relationships, either one-on-one within, for me, I've been using Marco Polo and Messenger, using those audio recordings, and I love videos, so I've transitioned to Marco Polo, which is an amazing free app that you can use to communicate with people that you are talking with. And I can go into that more if you're interested. So what does this mean? The reason you're creating these challenge groups is because you're giving them another reason to connect with you. You're starting to build this trust, something outside of maybe their work or their normal day-to-day, right? You're creating that support. You're also creating that accountability, and you're not only yourself accountable, but you're holding them accountable and making sure they're showing up for their goals, because you know those, right? Because you spent time asking them about their goals and what they want and connecting with them on a personal level. So it's more of a community instead of sales, because honestly, these people could potentially just go to the site, buy it themselves, and just get a free coach. It doesn't matter. And they do by themselves, but that's no fun. And that's kind of not the point, right? Or they could go on Amazon, do the same thing because they're available on Amazon. So you're making sure that you're building connections. One thing I do to get into my free groups is I tell them that I would love them to be part of my group, but I have to make sure that I have them listed as, are listed as part of my, like me as a free coach, because it ensures that you're not stepping on any toes, that you're not taking anybody else's customers from them, or they're taking advantage of you and your free groups and your friendship. Because I've had a couple coaches in the past that have, helped out other people, and then other coaches found out that it's just drama, and you want to avoid it as much as possible because you don't want other coaches to feel like you're stepping on their toes, right? So you always want to make sure before they come into your free group that they are listed as your clients, or for me, gems or diamonds, before they come in, because you want to make sure you just don't step on any toes, right? So foundations and understanding of the group. So you have an option 1. So when you first come in as a coach, you're more than welcome to run your own challenge groups. You want to make sure you set that date. And then we have all kinds of scripts and stuff like that in there to give you a general foundation of what this looks like, and gives you a basic starting place, right? And you'll be able to find those in the new coach training group. Also check the team page, because again, with the team pages, you'll have the grandfather and the grandparent team pages. So Ignite Your Life. And then for us, it would be Ignite Your Life. And for Perspire, Inspire, Aspire, those will all have a bunch of different scripts and a bunch of different under documents. If you go to the top of the page and you look onto the left-hand side of the page, you'll see documents. And you click on there and you'll have a whole plethora of different supports. We'll be also adding those to our new coach training area too. So you'll have that option too. The second option when you're running these groups is just to join the team challenge group. So it makes it a little bit easier. You can either join the free group. Typically, again, those take off every Monday of every month, the first Monday of every month. And the paid groups will have 1 week of prep, and then it will start. So for instance, prep week starts the 9th of April, and then we start out the gate just all in with our workout programs on the 16th. Does that mean that on the 9th you can't work out? No, not really. That means that you can pick another program, do that one maybe like Shaun T week, or clean week, or something along that line. It's only a week long, and then just get ready for that program. Maybe do some yoga, that kind of stuff, depending on whatever program you're going into. So make sure that, again, you sign them up as your free customer first, because you want to make sure they're listed as your customer, or for me, gem or diamond, because you just don't want to step on those toes. Team challenge group. So again, refer to the quote. That's what I mean by leader. You're making sure that you're educating people, and that not so much they can duplicate what you're saying and all your scripts and all of these, like they shouldn't have to go into, like, for instance, my team, I don't want them to go in and copy and paste my stuff. I don't want them to utilize, just take it and then copy it and just use that. I want you to make it your own. So I'm giving you the general foundation of what it looks like to be, on the right path and being successful. And again, always ask questions. Always ask questions. So you want to make sure you're duplicating this attitude so that you can, as a coach, and your coaches can take this and continue this on and make their own. Because again, as a wellness coach, we are not Beachbody. We are Beachbody coaches, but as a wellness coach, you're taking the products and you're using them as tools to support your journey to allow this become a lifelong change over time, right? So you're just utilizing the tools. You can make this into your own brand, anything you want. So team challenge groups, and myself or another veteran coach will run the group and show you the ropes, give you an idea. We'll be handling the big stuff, like the live videos or the big posts that are going in to support most of the people in the group, but where you're expected to put in motivational posts, workout check-ins, maybe, if you have something that you have learned from the program, you're putting those in. Basically, you're showing your enthusiasm, your participation, you're showing your consistency, and that you're there to support them as a group and get to know everybody, right? So again, when you come in, normally the minimum is to bring in 3 challengers to your group. So for instance, if I had my personally sponsored coach, she would bring in maybe 3 challengers or 2 challengers, somebody else that she has brought on by herself. For instance, I have a coach right now. She has her sister in the group with us. And so that is one of her challengers. For me, it would be her gym or her diamond. So keep in mind, this is specific for new coaches or discount coaches who are starting out building their own business or building their community, just kind of to start them off. It also is nice to be able to group up with some other coaches too, because say if life happens and you can't post that week or keep on holding your team accountable because life happens, because it does, there'll be somebody out there to also support your continual group challenges and making sure those continue on while you go through the hard stuff. So where and how do I invite? The way you're going to start off with this is you're going to make a list of your warm market. What do I mean by warm market? So people that you already know, even if they're just acquaintances, let me try that. Acquaintances. I can do this. High school, college, job, church, family, extended family, spouse, contacts, that kind of stuff. So these are the people that you are going to write down. You'll make a list of 50 people and people that can benefit from this gift or who would share in your excitement about health and fitness or just show their support to you. This visual, so the way I think of this and inviting is I'm a very visual person. So I imagine walking down a path, right? We're just walking down the simple pathway. You can either be walking down this kind of pathway, which to be honest, that's what I imagine. Or you can be walking down this kind of pathway. But the idea is there's 3 types of houses. So there's also going to be 3 types of people and situations. The first house has no lights on, the door's closed, everything is dark, and you're not sure if anybody's home or if anybody's been doing anything. So applying that to, let's say Facebook. You go on people that you've invited, they've added you as a friend, you message them, you may not get anything back from them right away, or they haven't written anything on their wall in a long period of time. So you go on their wall, you comment on 1 or 2 posts, and you like something on their page, maybe their cover picture, their profile, and maybe comment in there. They may not respond. And if they don't respond, that's okay. You write it down and you're just kind of like you're walking along the street and you knock on the door and you're like, hey, I'm your new neighbor, just seeing if you're home, and there's nobody there. So you leave kind of like a little note. Hey, thanks for adding me. I really appreciate you. And this has been really hard in 2018. I've decided I'm going to really step outside my comfort zone and support more people and help myself start building more confidence and talking to new people. Something along that line. And then guess what? If they don't answer or there's nobody home right now, don't worry about it. You left the note. And it's not, you don't want to leave like a flyer with all of your prices and all that stuff. It seems when you get it in the mail, it's kind of like makes it seem cheaper, right? You're just kind of saying hi and you're this new neighbor, right? The next house has lights on. You can see people moving around. You knock on the door and they either answer or they answer through the door and you're like, hey, I just wanted to say hi. Thank you so much for the ad. I really appreciate you. And you respond to some of their pictures like, hey, I saw that you went to Hawaii over the summer. It looks so gorgeous. Can you tell me more about it? What was your favorite? Ask them questions. You're prompting them. They either come back, later on with, it was so pretty. I was excited to go, but they don't really give you a lot. So that they're there, but they're just not warm to you yet. They're still part of your cold market. They're still part of this section of people that just need more time to get to know you, right? So you, again, leave your, hey, I'm really excited that you added me in 2018. I am really looking forward to stepping outside my comfort zone and being able to learn to talk to new people and expanding my horizons. Something along that line. And, but again, make it your own. You are you, I am me, right? So it needs to be words that you're comfortable with saying. And trust me, it's not going to be comfortable right out the gate. You're going to feel a little awkward about it. But again, you're this new neighbor in the neighborhood that you're talking to all these wonderful people. The third house, which is the most exciting, and I've gotten in the last year, I can't tell you how refreshing these conversations are. I have started this conversation up with, hey, in 2018, blah, blah, blah. I'm, just trying to reach outside my comfort zone and get to know new people. It's something I really, really struggle with. And this house is having a full-blown family barbecue. And everybody's outside. They're like, hey, that's so awesome. You just moved in the neighborhood. Come on in. We're making, hamburgers, and the food's out on the table, and there's drinks up over here, and then there's over here. And the conversation literally explodes. And these people become your best friends, like right away. And trust me, it happens. At first, I didn't think it would, because I was just like, I'm worried about just bothering people, and I just don't want to bother people. That's kind of my big shame thing, and my negative self-talk internally. I don't want to bother people. I don't want to bother people. And guess what? These people invite you into their lives, and they start telling you about their lives, and they expand. This friendship starts really blooming very quickly. So again, there's three parts of your three houses that you're just becoming a new neighbor of the neighborhood, right? And you're always going to keep checking up with them. And it's not going to be anything big. So maybe one day you kind of go back through and you're checking back in with house one. And you're just like, knock on the door and you're like, hey, how's your day going on a scale from 1 to 10? Is it going well? And they may write you back. They may not. Months later, they may never write you back. And months later, they may come back and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I never go on Messenger. I didn't even see these until now. I'm so sorry I did not respond. So just keep on, not so much poking and prodding, but it's just checking in with them. You're building a friendship with them. They may not have Messenger, who knows? But if you stop coming back and knocking on the door and saying hi, then the answer is always going to be no. They're not going to ever want to be part of your life. And that may be, a detriment. Who knows if these people may flourish. I know for me, when I, for instance, got into World of Warcraft and I started playing World of Warcraft, you just play because the time my ex-boyfriend was, or my boyfriend at the time was, playing, and it takes a long time because there's raids and they sometimes take hours. And so I was like, okay, I'll play. And I got into it, and it was amazing because I met these outstanding people that I'm still friends with, even though that relationship ended, but I'm still friends with them. And they've gotten me through so much stuff because I stepped outside my comfort zone and talked to new people. So step outside your comfort zone and invite. So scripts from the top coaches, again, these are a general idea. You can pause this. You can look it over. If you want to utilize a script, just message me and I'll copy and I will paste it to you. Just let me know which episode it was in, because I'll probably have forgotten by then, and I'd be like, what are you talking about? Because I do that sometimes. So basically, when you take these scripts, you are going to use it as a baseline to start from, because sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I was in high school and college, a lot of the time getting started was the hardest part. Just starting to write. And by having kind of an outline, you can either add more to it, change the wording of it, add in more points of who you are in it, and makes it more you relatable, right? So you want to make sure these initial contacts as your starting coach, you're all pulling from your warm market at this point. right? So here's another example from Top Coach, and you can pause this so you can get a read through it. I'm not going to read it to you. But again, for me, if I were to go in here, these are what's going to your warm market. It's kind of your inner circle, your coworkers, family, friends, people at your church. I would probably send it to individual people or on Facebook or just talking to people in general. Obviously, I would change Beachbody program. I've been doing these programs that involve 30-minute workouts. Again, you don't need to express what program it is right now. You want to kind of leave a little taste for questioning them, like, what programs are you doing that are only 30 minutes? So you want to make sure you're prompting them. You don't want to give them all the information right out the gate, because if you're doing that, then they have nothing else to ask you, right? So you want to be honest with them, but at the same time too, you don't want to give them all the answers and inundate them with so much information, okay? So you're going to go in here and you're going to make it your own. You're going to tweak it or even read it and then just start fresh and write your own and send these to people. And so save it, save. And then you can copy and paste them, obviously, and adapt them to certain people. I know for me, sometimes I do that. I'll take these and then I adapt them. I'll take the general idea and then add details that let me relate to the other person more so. So if they have kids or if they're dog moms or something like that, I'll kind of take it and tweak it. So 5 steps to the invitation process, your inviting process. Ask them about their goals. You need to ask them about their goals. Don't go off on a tangent all about yours. Your goal is to build a relationship with them and trust with them and understanding with them. It's not about you, it's about them. Be yourself and literally smile through the computer, because you can tell, no matter if you can see me or not, you're going to be able to tell if I'm passionate, enthusiastic, I'm loving life. If you can tell if you're smiling. Sometimes when you're looking at a person, you can tell if they're happy because they're smiling through their eyes. Have you ever heard that? And you can tell through a computer if you're doing that, right? Always ask them questions. Keep it simple. You don't have to overthink things, right? So if you're scrolling and you see these people have added you from your warm market or your cold market or whatever, say you go back to your high school page and you add a bunch of people and you go through and you look at their wall and you're like, oh, they have a dog. They have the same dog I do. And so you message them and you're like, hey, I saw that you have such and such dog. You have a toy poodle too. How old is your toy poodle? What's its name? That's amazing. How long, do you plan on getting another one or something along that line? Keep the questioning simple. It doesn't need to be complex. Simple is better, okay? Relate back to them with how this gift can support them. So since you're understanding their goals, for instance, I have this girlfriend and there's another coach that was poking and prodding her to sign up part of an 80-day program. I've known this girl for years. I love her to death. She is outstanding, but I know she's not ready to do an 80-day program. Her daughter has been struggling. She's had a couple health issues. Right now, her focus is taking care of her daughter and going to hospital visits and going to appointments and stuff like that. So her time is very limited, and her daughter needs to be working on communication and working on building strength, okay? And so instead of putting her through this 80-day program, my focus is turning back saying, okay, I have this huge gift for you that is going to allow you to communicate with your daughter more, that you're going to be able to work out. They're time effective and efficient. They're only like 19 minutes to 23 minutes long. And you get to spend time with her and get to know her better and joke with her and laugh with her and just have fun and build your goals together. So you're taking what you know about the programs and these products that you have, and you're showing them how this can change their life, because it's about them, right? They want to be able to take these tools and make it fit into their lifestyle so it's relatable, right? So it works for them. It becomes a lifestyle for them rather than a diet. Don't shy away from the cost because it's a huge deal. Hit the cost straight on. By hitting the cost straight on, I'm telling you that it's by saying things like, this is what you're getting. You're going to be getting 700 plus workouts, portion control container cups, hundreds of recipes, a blog, and personal trainers that will be able to guide you through these workouts. Me as your free coach, a free shaker cup, and so on and so forth. There's so much with this. You're mostly just coming at them with, this is what you're getting. And then eventually you'll get to the price and say, okay, it's this, but it's for the whole year. Like that is phenomenal. You're not paying month to month. You're not paying throughout the year. You're paying one fee and that's it. And if they say no, remember, your no, 100 no's, it's not a bad thing. They're saying no to themselves, not to you. Follow up, follow up, follow up. So many people just don't follow up that they miss opportunities, right? You're building a relationship. It's like, coming on and talking to one person once a year. That's not building a relationship. That you need to sustain a relationship and talk to people and invest in them and want to know more about them. So again, that's where, for me, Team Z works. It works out really, really well. Makes things really easy. Inviting. What not to do when inviting? Don't tell them the price right out the gate. You're building these relationships, and by telling them the price right out the gate, they're going to end up shutting down. They're going to see it as you're just pushing sales. You don't care about them. You don't care about what they need. You're going in as they're your acquaintances. I cannot say that word today. Then they become your friends, and then they become your family, right? So there's this process. You're building this relationship. You're talking to them. You're figuring out what their goals are. And then after you figure out what their goals are, you're allowing yourself to say, hey, this is a gift that I really would think would fit into your life, which is amazing. And then again, get to the price, right? After you have told them, like basically said to them, this is how much I care about you. I'm listening to you. I hear you. And I want you to use this gift that has been a gift for me in your life because I think it will help you, right? Don't cut the conversation short. Get to know them. By cutting the conversation short, you would be telling them the price right out the gate. You would be like, they would respond to you and you said, that's great, because they have said, no, I don't want to do this. And you'd stop the conversation there, because if they say, no, I don't really feel like this is a good time, come back with, hey, I understand, totally get it, don't worry about it. And then, sometimes you have to just focus on yourself and what you're going through right now. Is there any reason why that this isn't a good time for you? Is there anything going on in your life that is a struggle what are you struggling with? What might you be struggling with? That kind of thing. I've never had anybody tell me, no, I'm not going to tell you. There's so many people that want to just open up and be heard. Now, going back to, and what we'll talk about is your tribe, is finding your tribe. You want to find people that are campfire worthy. And what I mean by that is that these are the people that you're bringing into your life that you can imagine sitting and having a cup of hot cocoa, coffee, maybe a glass of wine, a beer, whatever, sitting around a campfire and joking and laughing and telling stories, and you could sit there for hours and just talk. Those are the people you're looking for. Those are people that you want on your dream team, right? And in your community. Don't send them the link right out the gate. You need to be able to ask permission. You need to talk to them first. Don't just send them links, because it's going to shut them down. They're going to have these walls. I always say to my team all the time is that, adults are just bigger kids that have been hurt by the world, and they have to learn to trust again. And if you're sending those links right away, especially with how many network marketing people there are out there, they're just going to see it as you just want to sell them things, and they're just going to shut down. They'll put that wall up, and then you're done, right? All the lights in the house went off. You're just like, okay, never mind. Okay, that's the end of the conversation. Okay, again, don't make the conversation all about you. It's not about you. You're asking questions. You're getting to know these people. It's a relationship building Trust takes time. So again, the cold market, and this will help with your avatars when you make them. We'll be making our avatars and talking about our avatars in episode 3, so the next one. So your hobbies, think of things you grew up doing, maybe gymnastics, sewing, collecting frogs, I don't know. For me, I love Disneyland, I love Harry Potter. So that's where, those are the kind of things I love to do. I love food, but I love, more specifically, I'm gluten-free. So I'm looking for people that are going to be lists of gluten-free, maybe groups of gluten-free. From there, you're going to take this list and search for groups on Facebook with these topics and see if you click with some of these people. You may not. So you get added into these groups and you start just kind of jiving with them and seeing what they have to offer, right? And you'll kind of go from there. And we'll talk about that more in episode 3. So again, here is your objective. The reason that we're doing this is to build this strong, solid, fundamental foundation so you can build your own community and succeed, right? And duplicate what we're doing, this attitude of what we're doing, and move forward so you can teach it to other people and educate other people, right? So again, your goals, your CTA, call to action, is what are your more specific goals? I want you to list out 50 people from your warm market, maybe just on a piece of paper, and write them out and take a picture of it and put it in the group. And then list of interests to help you find your niche group. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I have a wonderful time talking with you. If you have any other questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask me, right? Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.